Hello, fellow guitar geeks. I'm here at Guitar Summit 2022 with Lee from jetguitars, the brand that you always ask me, are they actually that good? So I'm going to ask Lee, jetguitars, are they actually that good?
They're better. And I know that's unbelievable, but they are better. And it's been so nice being here at the Guitar Summit this weekend to actually get the guitars into people's hands and let them make up their own minds. And the feedback we've had this weekend has been absolutely fantastic. And that's just so nice to hear. To give a little bit of history, jetguitars, founded in 2020, based in Slovenia. Now, the guy who designs the guitars, 𝗚𝗨𝗜𝗚𝗧𝗔𝗥, is a guitar fanatic, like we all are. He loves his guitars, and he loves boutique guitars. But obviously, it would be fantastic if we all had loads and loads of money and we could just go and buy all these crazy boutique guitars, but for most of us, they're out of reach. The whole mission with jetguitars is to be able to bring some of that at price points where it's just not been available before. So there is features and build quality and components and materials that are just not found on guitars at this price point, and we've been able to bring them to that level.
What is the cheapest guitar that you have currently? What does it cost to get into the jetguitars family?
The one we have here is the JT300, and this is a sunburst one. Now, before I give you the price, because you have a roasted maple neck, you have a roasted maple fingerboard, you have ceramic pickups, beautiful sunburst finish, and obviously you guys can't feel it, but the neck is just wonderful.
It is. It doesn't feel like how much?
A cheap guitar, €179.
And just to play devil's advocate here, it's a budget guitar. It's the cheapest you do currently that's here. Yeah. Don't expect it to play like €1,000 guitar. Okay, so there's not that. I'm not saying you're going to get €1,000 of guitar for that, but you are going to get a sub €500. So there's all these different levels where guitars suddenly jump up, and I think that's, let's say sub 300. You're probably paying maybe €100 less than you probably should be. Don't listen to that, jetguitars. Don't put your prices up. But yeah, you, every time, and maybe for parents, okay, when you're thinking about buying guitars for your loved little ones, yeah, that's a good price point.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a key part. I think it's been so hard over the years when people buy cheap guitars, you know, to begin on it, and they're not good quality instruments, and all that does is puts the person off playing because they find it really hard to play, and that leads to them giving up playing guitar. And of course we don't want that. We want people to come buy one of our guitars. It's amazing, and it will help them on their journey to playing, you know. And then of course we don't just do guitars at €179. We step up, so it'd be nicer to play.
Let's step up. Let's see what else is. What happens if we spend about, I don't know, €300? What do we get?
Oh, we get quite a bit. €300.
So we're roughly doubling, or almost doubling.
If we keep the sort of T-shaped vibe going on, this is a JT350, and once you go up into this price point, again, roasted maple neck, but on this model, locking tuners. We're now using Wilkinson bridge on this. There is a push-pull pot, which splits the neck humbucker. You know, this is a serious guitar, and it's just over €300, so 319. You know, and again, bone nuts. Yeah. These are all features you would normally find on guitars that, are at least double, I would say this.
Let's say at least another 200, all right? Let's say €500.
So it's just not in this price point anyway.
No.
And this is what we're doing, and it's so exciting.
As you said, like the thing is, people often worry about tone. How does it sound? Does it sound as good as a Fender? I don't think that tone is that important, especially at this price point. When you're spending your money and you're choosing the parts that you put in your guitar, and you're choosing your pickups, you're choosing your strings, that's important. But at this price point, you want something that's reliable and is easy to play.
Is it easy to play? Does it stay in tune? You know, those are really the key things, aren't they? If every time you pick a guitar up that you bought, it's out of tune and sounds awful, but is it easy to play? Does it stay, you know, is the intonation good? So are you, because when you're learning especially, obviously, you don't know, do you? So if you end up with something that is out of tune or intonated terribly, it's not going to help you on your learning journey. No. So
what about the strings, Lee? Because I remember when I unboxed those almost prototypes, that the strings were the sort of classic Chinese factory strings, and they were, quite honestly, pretty terrible.
Yes. Again, we've upgraded the strings. So the strings are a little bit better probably on the ones that you get. I mean, again, here you go. These are all just straight out of the box. So, I mean, this model we'll talk about in just a second. But there you go, field strings.
Okay, yeah, you can tell that it's the winds and the distance of the winds that feels like a better quality string. Haven't played it, can't give you the full review at a trade show.
Of course.
But I'm confident that what you just said is at least 55% true.
I always like to be at least 55% true. But I mean, again, I may as well talk about this while I'm holding it, because again, it's important that we do our own thing with jet guitars. It's not just boring classic colours. The JT450 with a quilted pink maple top. Again, bone nut locking tuners, the 5-way switch. It's an amazing guitar.
And the thing that jet guitars do well, if you're looking for budget guitars, sometimes I find the colours are a little bit, to use an English term, wishy-washy. They're like, the butterscotch is not quite right on the butterscotch telly, or something's not quite right, and the colours are very bright, very vibrant, and quite eye-catching. And on stage, they're going to look pretty good. But one thing that you do terribly is the headstock logo.
Yes.
Or do you?
I don't think so. I mean,
no, you changed it, right?
Yeah, the initial logo was maybe a little bit too out there, a bit graffiti based. So that's been toned down a little bit now, which, me personally, I think looks a little bit better.
Lee, what's your favourite guitar here at the booth? Which is the one that you would take home if you could?
I would probably take this JS800 because I think this offers something a little different to the, like you, I've got a house full of, old classic guitars, and I think this offers a slightly different vibe, and especially at the price point it's at. This is a little bit more money, $459, but with that you're getting a humbucker, and this humbucker, in fact, one thing I forgot to say before is that on the higher end, so this kind of price point guitars, the pickups are actually hand wound in Korea, and then shipped from Korea to the factory in China where these are made. I love the fact of this. I just love the finish as well as the guitar. Matte finish, a little bit of relicking, and then it's for little touches as well, like the screws are slightly rusty all over. The string tree is slightly rusty. It's for little features.
I have a suggestion for your next attention to detail.
Yes.
Because you've changed the logo. You're now doing the pickups, and what I had were near prototypes. The thing that I've seen that is almost uniform throughout the guitars, that I don't like, that you can now work on.
Yes. Good.
Is the pick guard. Okay. I think this is €459, which again now we're edging into a fair amount of money for a budget guitar.
Yep.
It's not quite a professionally priced. Even forget all the other things. $459 is a lot of money, a chunk of change. For me, the pick guard on that is still budget. That feels like the same pick guard from the €200. So if you can change that pick guard, I will fully get behind that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, when we do the Andy Signature Edition, you'll pick your own pick guard, won't you? And
but that's going to be like €3,000 because it's got like gold inlays and.
Oh, I can't wait to do it though.
Actually, I'd like to do the cheapest signature possible. Can you imagine that?
That'd be cool. We should do it.
One pickup.
Yeah. That's all we need.
Half a pickup.
5 frets. 4 strings.
3 strings. 4 strings. All right, deal. Yeah.
Let's do it. It's already designed, isn't it? We've got that in the bag. Let's do it.
But whatever you want. What would you put in your cheapest signature guitar, and how much you'd expect to pay for it? Let us know in the comments. All right, I'm going to actually play some of these. Lee, thank you for your time, and Jet Guitars and viewers, I hope that some of your questions are answered. I'm not just here being sycophantic. I genuinely am excited by budget guitars, and Jet Guitars deserves to be one of the names that you should be looking at when you're thinking about buying a guitar. Again, if you're a parent, have little fear. Yeah, so links in the video description. More videos in the playlist for Guitar Summit 2022. I will see you very soon. Lee, thanks, mate.
Thank you, Andy. Always good to see you.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye-bye. I'm not waving at you. I'm waving at them. Now I'm waving at you.
Hi, Andy.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you.